Howdy folks, I'm KG Carrots, cantankerously challenging cranky cans.
I'm Amber.
And here are more cranky cans for us to challenge. You know why we're challenging them? Because they're full of the worst vegetables possible. Canned spinach. That's why we're challenging them. Carrots are like, no canned spinach. Let's get started.
Not on my Thanksgiving watch.
Yeah. Alright folks, and our first letter is titled, Am I a Jerk for Refusing to Cook for My Boyfriend After He Tried to Critique My Cooking with a Literal PowerPoint Presentation? And hang around folks, we have an update for this one too. So this happened a few days ago and I'm still trying to process it. For context, I'm a 28-year-old female and I've been with my boyfriend, a 30-year-old male, for about 2 years. We live together and I've always done most of the cooking because I genuinely enjoy it, and he claims that he can't even boil water without setting off the smoke alarm. The other night, I made one of our favorite meals, and while we were eating, he got this weird smirk on his face. He then says, "You know, I've been taking notes." I laughed, thinking that he was joking, but then he said, "No, really, I made a presentation." I still thought that he was joking until he got up, connected his laptop to the TV, and opened a PowerPoint titled Improving Our Home Dining Experience. I was in disbelief as he went slide to slide, critiquing my dishes. Slide 1, too much garlic. Slide 2, pasta consistency. Slide 3, more salt, less sass. The kicker was slide 8, which was just a photo of Gordon Ramsay facepalming with the caption, "What would he think?" I was stunned. I told him that if he had such detailed opinions that he should cook himself. He tried to backtrack, saying that it was all in good fun and that he was just trying to help, but I wasn't laughing. I haven't cooked since, and now he's been living off cereal and takeout. He's sulking, saying that I'm overreacting, ruining the joke. So Reddit, am I the jerk for refusing to cook after my boyfriend presented me with a PowerPoint critique of my cooking? And without any further delay, here's the update. Hey Reddit, so it's been a wild ride since I posted my original story about my now ex-boyfriend's infamous PowerPoint presentation critiquing my cooking. I can't thank you all enough for the support, laughs, and even the outrage on my behalf. Buckle up, because here's the follow-up that you didn't know you needed. After reading your comments and taking some time to process what happened, I decided that our relationship needed a serious talk. I sat him down to discuss how his presentation came across as just not funny and pretty disrespectful. You know, typical mature relationship stuff. Well, what does he do? He gets a smirk and goes, "Oh, I prepared for this." He actually grabs his laptop, connects it to the TV again, and presents me with another PowerPoint titled, How to Take a Joke, a Comprehensive Guide. Yes, folks, he made a whole slideshow explaining why I need to learn how to chill out and appreciate humor. Slide 1 featuring a meme of a clown putting on makeup with my name plastered over it. Slide 2, a bullet point list titled, Why Your Overreaction is Hilarious, and slide 3 was titled, How I'm Clearly the Comedian in This Relationship. At this point, I was just too stunned to speak. But then he pulled out slide 6, things that you can do while not cooking because you're mad. The audacity, right? It was as if he really thought that he would win me over with this next level presentation. Spoiler alert, he did not. So I did what any rational PowerPoint loving person would do. I made my own. I stayed up all night crafting a presentation called Why It's Time to Move On, a Farewell Guide. It had everything. Flow charts mapping out his incompetence in the kitchen, pie charts illustrating my happiness before and after the great presentation debacle, and my personal favorite, slide 9, a gif of Gordon Ramsay yelling, "Get out." This morning, I sat him down and went through my PowerPoint with the same energy he had given me. His reaction was priceless. He started with the same smirk, but lost it around slide 4, top 10 reasons that you're moving out today. By the time that I got to resources for finding your own apartment slide, he was packing a bag. Now, before anyone worries, yes, he did actually leave, and no, I didn't even have to threaten him with slide 12, which was just a photo of me blocking the Wi-Fi router. So yeah, we broke up, and I'm single, happy, and cooking meals for myself without any critique except my cat's judgmental stare. And to those who said that I should just make a breakup PowerPoint, just know your wish has been fulfilled. I still can't believe how all this went down over the course of a single weekend. but I now feel pretty good about myself. Thanks to all of you for your comments and support. P.S. Oh, and fun fact, some of you were right. He actually is a business consultant, so making PowerPoint presentations is quite literally his day job. I guess he took bringing home work to a whole new unwelcome level. All right, folks, what do you think of this one?
I mean, I think OP handled this perfectly. What he did was not nice and not cool at all. It's one thing, like, if your partner makes a dish that's too salty or too garlicky, to be like, oh, hey, I like this, but in the future, could you use a little less salt or something like that?
Yeah.
It's another thing to, like, make a PowerPoint presentation degrading your partner's cooking in general, especially when he can't even cook himself.
Yeah. Well, he sure did cook himself this time, but I mean, the thing is this. It's always a little hard to receive and give constructive criticism. It's a challenging thing for people in committed relationships and otherwise, right? And I understand, like, sometimes it can be difficult to express yourself and kind of without hurting your partner's feelings, right? And what's different about trying to be constructive is that this wasn't constructive at all. This was just simply tearing OP down and making her the butt end of the joke, right? And I think that that's really where he went wrong here. I mean, maybe he could have passed this off as a joke if he had done something different, like how to improve our dining experience, and then had a PowerPoint presentation with like them having like a brand new movie theater room or something like that, right? I don't know, like not critiquing her
Right.
go cooking, but maybe the environment where they can do something to improve the ambiance, so to speak.
Yeah.
But this is really, if he was joking, then he should have realized that it fell flat.
Well, then the audacity of making the second presentation, basically telling her, I'm right, you're the problem. I'm so funny. You need to learn how to appreciate my humor.
Yeah. Well, and that's it. It's like he doubled down, and even though she was already mad, for no sensible reason here, right? It just seems like he decided that he was going to try to prove to her that she was just taking this too personally, and he wasn't paying attention to her needs.
Right. When, I'm sure he was frustrated that she wasn't cooking for him and he had to fend for himself. But instead of like trying to apologize and admit he was wrong, he's like, no, I gotta make her think that she's the problem here and demean her until she comes back around to cooking for me.
But let me know what you folks think. So anyhow, take care and good luck. And Any Pollution 3875 says, I'm not sure if this wasn't the outcome that he wanted originally given his behavior. And 3Nack says, priceless nonetheless. And Any Pollution 3875 says, fair, but his behavior does not seem to me to be that of a man that wants to keep his girlfriend. Alright folks, and our next letter is titled, Am I a Jerk for Asking My Soon-to-Be Ex-Husband why I would take him back when the nanny does more for the family than he does? My husband and I are separated, getting a divorce. We have a 3-year-old and an 8-year-old. He owns his own business and told me that he would get home 5:30 to 6 every night. I get home 6 to 6:30, so I never thought anything about him always getting home before me. I had our 3-year-old in extended care at a daycare and 8-year-old in her school's after-school program because I believed he was working. Halfway through the school year last year, I hired a nanny instead of the extended care programs after our oldest had problems with her program. I get a call from the nanny about 2 weeks in saying that my soon-to-be ex-husband locked them out and was telling her to take them to the park, but the kids were hungry and she didn't have car seats. His house is walking distance from the school and daycare, so she didn't need car seats. I called him and he said that he got home early and wanted some space from the kids and didn't want a random 18-year-old in the house. I had to leave work early to get the kids in. While I was talking to the nanny, she told me that he was always home when she got home with the kids and that he was always difficult, demanding that she and the kids stay in one of the kids' rooms, ignoring the kids if they tried to talk to him, getting mad at her for leaving the room for a snack. That was the straw that broke the camel's back for me. I filed for a divorce by the end of next week, and the kids and I moved out by the end of next month. I ended up letting go of that nanny, and now we have Amina, 24. Amina is in the Middle Eastern refuge with 3 kids of her own, 2, 4, and 7. Hiring Amina is one of the best decisions I've ever made. I get to come home every day to a clean house, homework done, and some of the best Arabic food that I've ever had. I have no idea how she manages to do everything, but having her around means that I get to enjoy my time with my kids instead of trying to make dinner, clean up, and get my 8-year-old to do her homework. She does the grocery shopping, keeps track of the school events, and even handles things like clothing shopping for the kids and school supply shopping. My soon-to-be ex did none of that. I once left him with the kids for a week while I went on a work trip. They lived on McDonald's and pizza, which wreaked havoc on my 8-year-old stomach. The house was in the worst shape that I've ever seen it, and our 2-year-old at that time ran out of clean clothes, and he bought her new clothes instead of washing the dirty clothes. My soon-to-be ex has been asking about getting back together. He says that us being together is better for the kids. I told him that he's never thought about what was good for the kids before. Even when he takes them for the weekend, all they do is go to grandma's house. I asked why I should go back with him when Amina does more than he ever did. He argued that he works to provide for us, but thought it was different from me also working, apparently close to double the hours he worked for similar money. Now his family is accusing me of being a bad mom and saying that if I cared about the kids, then I would want them to have 2 parents. Am I the jerk? All right, folks, what do you think?
No, not the jerk. The most important thing for the kids is that they have a good home life. It doesn't have to be a 2-parent home life to be good. It sounds like before their dad was like forcing them to stay in like little parts of the room so they didn't interfere with him. If he was responsible for watching them, he basically would just do the bare minimum to keep them alive. He is not an involved parent. On his days, he's sending them to his mom's house. Like, this is not a partner. This is not a good father. He is just a leech.
Yeah. I mean, I think that's really what this kind of sounds like. He doesn't sound like he is really raising the kids. It sounds like he views OP as, just kind of a person to do all the stuff that he doesn't want to do around the house.
Right. I have a feeling that's the only reason why he wants to get back with OP is he's had to start doing his own laundry and his own cooking and gasp, all those chores they just don't do themselves.
So, I mean, I'm glad that OP found out. It's a little disappointing that it took her this long to figure out that he was actually just this bad. But it seems like this has probably been a long time in coming because she pretty quickly dropped the divorce, decree down, it seems like.
Yeah, well, I mean, the audacity of being like, oh, I'm not home, like lying to her consistently, saying he's not home, so I can't take the kids, when really he's there the whole time and just doesn't want to be bothered with them.
Yeah. But let me know what you folks think. So anyhow, take care and good luck. And I am a Thug 101 says, that's the man you chose to have kids with. Why? And OP replies, I was young and stupid when I had the first one, and the second was a COVID baby. I don't think it's helpful or constructive to blame people for the reasons why they have kids with somebody.
No, it's not, especially because a lot of people change over time. Like, he may not have been this, like, it's clear he was putting up a front. OP didn't realize just how uninvolved and terrible he was until now. How he practically, like, he not only ignores the kids, but practically resents them.
Yeah. And Trips says, seems like you dumped the husband for a housewife and are probably using his money to do it. I'm not saying that your choices are wrong, but sure is convenient though. And OP replies, the only thing he provided while we were married was money. At least this way I get help with the kids and with the house. There is nothing wrong with getting a nanny, right? They had a nanny before, right? But now with Amina, it's more, it seems like, I couldn't tell if she's actually living with them or what exactly.
Yeah, not 100% sure. I think she's just there for the day, but she brings her kids there too. And so I remember something about that in the comments, but yeah. Well, and they're acting like OP doesn't even work. OP says in the post that she's working and that she makes about the same amount of money he does for more hours. So like, she's probably paying it for it mostly with her own money.
Yeah. And Rubber Band Girl 66 says, so many questions. Why did you fire the first girl? Why was he not at work? Why couldn't they come in the house? Is he depressed? I need more info. But I'm glad you have a good support now. And OP replies, the first girl just wasn't what I needed. I'd use her for a night out if Amina cancels out, but not for every day. Soon-to-be ex apparently only worked 4 to 5 hours most days, not depressed as far as I know, and he didn't give a clear reason as to why they couldn't be in the house. He just needed space.
So he's working 4 to 5 hours a day, but he needs space from them for all the rest of the time.
And Direct Eye says, must realize that Amina may very well move out one day. And OP replies, she does plan to move on, but she wants to get her degree first, and not having to pay for childcare is a huge perk that she's not willing to give up until her youngest is in school, so we should have her for at least 3 years. Sounds kind of mutually beneficial. And Callie Holly says, not the jerk, I only hope that you pay Amina really well and give her good bonuses on holidays, even if she doesn't recognize American holidays. And OP replies, she makes good money for the hours that she works. Not enough for her to quit her second job, but definitely good for a nanny, especially because she brings her kids, / gets a save on childcare, and I give her some perks. I mean, I don't like the fact that she has to work 2 jobs.
Yeah. But I mean, I guess it depends if she's only there in the afternoon because the kids are in school most of the time. Then it might be like 2 part-time jobs.
Yeah, that's fair. All right, folks, and our last letter is titled, Today I Messed Up by Talking to a Disabled Person. I got in the elevator with a young guy wearing shorts and a prosthetic leg. He was actually escorting people up and down the elevator, and he had to get up off of his chair to ride up with me. I looked at his prosthetic, and it had a foot type that I've never seen before. I thought that maybe he had several prosthetics for different purposes. So I asked him, how many legs do you have? And he just kind of laughed nervously and said, just one. I then thought that he meant that he just had one prosthetic. That kind of made me sad, to which I replied, hopefully as you get older, you'll get a bunch more. He was smiling, but he seemed confused. I smiled back at him confidently, thinking that I had made the world a bit brighter. I didn't realize until I left the elevator what I had done. All right, folks, what do you think of this story?
I mean, I think it's a funny story. Hopefully he sees this on Reddit and gets a good chuckle out of it.
I'm sure it'll eventually hit him. And Sea Owl 7646 says, the visual I got was a very elderly man with 8 legs trying to walk around like a spider. I'm weeping.
It's probably my favorite thing about this story. It's this comment.
Uva Striker says, well, you'll remember the taste of foot for a while. And Insults Throwaway says, so that's what happened to the other leg. And Baloney Sammy Texas says, ever heard of the story of a man with 5 legs? His pants fit like a glove. And Monsi Mama says, is this America? Just for your information, we don't get a bunch of prosthetics to play around with. Insurance will pay for 1 prosthetic or pair every few years and make your life just terrible trying to get approval. And Atomic Kristen says, one time I had a girl come into my work and she was writing out a check, back when checks were actually a thing. She had the most beautiful, flawless manicure that I'd ever seen. I was staring at it jealously, thinking that I wish that I could afford to get my nails done and keep them perfect like that. Suddenly, it dawned on me that it was a prosthetic arm/hand, and I had been staring at it intently for like 2 minutes. And Cloudy Baby Cotton says, oh man, that is the most well-intentioned, unintentionally awkward thing to say. You were trying to be encouraging, and it just went in an unexpected direction. Honestly, though, he probably gets some weird comments from people who don't know what to say, but yours was clearly coming from a positive place. Now you've got a story to laugh and cringe at for years. All right, folks, it is tea time. Grab your beverages of choice. I've got some tea right here, and Amber, she has a joke.
What day of the week do chickens hate most?
Oh, they probably hate Friday the most because it's like Chicken Fry Day.
Yeah. It's a very sad joke. I don't like it.
Winner, winner, chicken dinner, but not for the chickens. And I have the special guest tea. Matcha again. All right, folks, that's all the time we have for today. Thank you so much for watching. Happy Terrific Tuesday, folks. I hope your Tuesday is off to a terrific start. Amber, we need some kind of moral advice and or guidance, and please have it as though you are a food critic.
Well, my expertise may be in cuisine, but I have to say that this boyfriend's PowerPoint is tasteless.
Yes, if you make a tasteless PowerPoint, then no one's going to appreciate it. Needs a little salt. Thanks so much for watching, and we'll see you all tomorrow.
Bye.